What SOE means to Chinese people. China's state-owned enterprises are actually owned by the CCP leaders' families and controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. These state-owned enterprises are assigned by the central or local governments to perform their contributor responsibilities covering most industries, mainly telecommunications, electricity power, water supply, transportation, network, finance, coal, petrochemicals, steel, etc. Nominally, the assets of state-owned enterprises belong to all Chinese people. However, there has never been a specific legal system or policy to clarify how these assets are to be divided among all Chinese people. These state-owned enterprises are now effectively in the hands of a few of the Chinese Communist Party's top families. Leaders of state-owned enterprises are selected and appointed by the Organization Department, the Communist Party's cadre-appointing body, and these leaders must all be Communist Party members. These leaders are supposed to obey the orders of the CCP completely and unconditionally. They actually represent the CCP top families. In fact, these state-owned enterprises serve several functions. 1. They are used to exploit people and accumulate wealth for the families that control them. 2. Transferring assets to foreign countries and laundering and hiding money. That's why these top communist officials are also kleptocrats. 3. Acquiring overseas high-tech companies and rare resources. Stealing technology. 4. With its national capital advantage and cheap labor, it beats its rivals in the international market with ultra-low prices and forms a world production power, till it becomes the key to the global supply chain completely. Use this as a weapon to blackmail and kidnap the West. This was accomplished because the Chinese Communist Party controls more than 1 billion Chinese people and a large market of over 1 billion customers. With the rapid development of China's economy over the past decades, a large number of enterprises have emerged that are privately owned but actually controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, such as Alibaba, Tencent, Huawei, TikTok. These companies are also tools and weapons of the Chinese Communist Party, used to disrupt, steal, and attack Western society. Businesses in the West are completely different from those in China. In the West, the ruling party and government have no right to interfere with anything in business. However, as long as the enterprises in China, whether they are state-owned, public-owned, listed, or privately owned, especially foreign-owned enterprises, are all the same, they must listen to the Chinese Communist Party in order to develop in China. Otherwise, it will be destroyed. For example, years ago Google Search was forced to withdraw from China because it disobeyed the Chinese Communist Party's speech censorship system and was forced out of the Chinese market.